Hey everyone, so today we're going to dive into a really important concept called enabling security, or ESEC for short. Now, this is a key part of the CMMI framework, and it's all about building security into the DNA of an organization right from the very beginning. Let's break down what that actually looks like. So let me just ask you a straight-up question. Is your business truly secure? It's really easy to just point to your antivirus software or a fancy firewall and say, yep, we're covered. But as you're about to see, real security goes so much deeper than that. And that's because true security isn't just a tool you buy or a piece of software you install. It's a full-time mindset. It has to be woven right into the fabric of your organization. It's not some optional add-on you can just trade away to hit a deadline or save a little money. It has to be fundamental. Okay, so let's get right to the heart of it. What exactly is this thing called enabling security, at least according to the CMMI framework? Let's take a look. Here's the official definition. It's an approach to anticipate, identify, and act to avoid or minimize the impact of security issues. Now, I want you to really focus on those key words, anticipate and avoid. See, this isn't about cleaning up a mess after a breach happens. It's all about preventing that mess from ever happening in the first place. It's proactive, not reactive. So to really understand what ESEC is trying to protect, we've got to talk about this classic model in the security world, the CIA triad. It basically breaks security down into three essential pillars. First up, you've got confidentiality, which is just about keeping secrets secret, right? Then there's integrity, making sure your data is accurate and hasn't been tampered with. And finally, availability, which means the right people can get to the right data whenever they need to. And a huge misconception is that security is just about computers and code. But a real security approach, what ESEC is all about, covers three big domains. Of course, there's cybersecurity, that's your networks and software, but there's also physical security. We're talking locked doors, server rooms, cameras, and maybe most importantly, there's personnel and process, things like background checks, privacy policies, and training your people. You have to master all three to be truly secure. So how does a company actually start on this path? Well, it all begins at what CMMI calls Level 1. This is all about taking that very first crucial step. At Level 1, listen, you're not trying to build Fort Knox right out of the gate. The goal is much simpler. It's all about awareness. This is the stage where you just start spotting the most obvious problems and fixing them as you go, mostly so they don't mess up your day-to-day work. It's like you've been walking around in the dark, and at Level 1, you finally flip on the lights. So what does this Level 1 stuff look like? Well, it's usually the basics, the low-hanging fruit. An unlocked server room, classic physical issue. Employees sharing passwords, a huge people problem. An unpatched software, that's like leaving the digital front door wide open. At this stage, you're just playing whack-a-mole with the biggest, most obvious risks. But just fixing problems as they pop up, that's not a real long-term strategy, right? That's where Level 2 comes in. This is where things get way more structured and we move from just reacting to having a real managed plan. The big mindset shift at Level 2 is going from reactive to proactive. You start to operate with the idea that any single defense might fail, so you build what's called a defense-in-depth strategy. Think about a medieval castle. It doesn't just have one wall. It's got a moat, an outer wall, an inner wall, guards. It has layers. That's exactly what you're doing with your security. And in practice, this means you start writing things down. You create formal documented plans for each of those three security areas we talked about. You start setting clear goals you can actually measure, like aiming for 0 data breaches. You have a written plan for physical access, a plan for how you train your people, and a plan for how you manage your firewalls. It's all deliberate and managed. Now, having a plan is great, but what happens when every team or every project has its own separate plan? It can get chaotic. That's what the highest level of maturity, Level 3, is designed to solve. So at Level 3, security graduates. It's no longer this ad hoc project-by-project thing. Instead, it becomes a single, standardized, organization-wide system. There is one defined way of doing security, and absolutely everyone follows it. And this is where you start to see the really advanced capabilities kick in. Organizations at this level will have a Security Operations Center, or a SOC, with people monitoring for threats 24/7. They'll have a single master blueprint for security that every project has to use. And my favorite part? They don't wait to get attacked. They proactively test themselves with red teaming, where they literally hire ethical hackers to try and break in just to find the weaknesses before the bad guys do. Okay, just one last really crucial point to make. It's super easy to confuse all of this preparation work with the actual act of fighting an attack. So let's clear up the difference between ASEC and another practice area called managing security threats. This slide just nails the difference. Think of enabling security, or ESEC, as building the fence. It's all the prep work, building strong walls, installing great locks, setting up your defenses. It's all the work you do before an attack ever happens. Managing security threats, or MST, on the other hand, that's fighting the intruder. It's what you do during an attack, when you're actively responding to a threat. And believe me, the better your ESEC prep is, the easier that fight is going to be. So really, at the end of the day, security is a journey of getting better and more mature. It's not some destination you just arrive at. It's an evolution, from just being aware, to having a managed plan, and then finally to having this standardized, proactive system. So the question I want to leave you with is, where is your organization on that path? Thanks for watching.